Hello and welcome to the fourth Nerds and Words podcast. Today we have Ross,
Adam.
Siraj.
Jason.
Siraj, slow as ever, and we also have the spirit of Barry with us as well, joining us from the M1.
What are you bobbing about?
I was about to say, did she die?
No, she's still alive. Can't confirm that someone else may not have died. But yeah,
Okay, well.
see, you won't actually hear her voice, but her spirit is here, and
Yes,
she
One
sends.
cannot simply kill Barry.
That's
No,
very
Barry's is one of our Dark Lords. Her presence lingers over us and rather sinisterly hangs over Siraj most of the time.
true. Yeah, but she sends.
I
like,
can't do much about that.
She sends her love to the audience. So obviously she has been in all three podcasts so far. So she sends her love. But instead we do have two new members joining us today. Adam and Siraj, neither of whom have been on an official podcast yet. How are you both
I'm a
doing?
podcast virgin.
Yeah.
Yet one of them has been mentioned on more than several occasions.
Yeah, I think we bring up Siraj fairly often.
It's almost like Siraj Tourette's sometimes.
Yeah. Not that Siraj listens to our content.
I
you know,
do.
Or likes our Facebook page.
I-
Or...
Okay, that I didn't do for a while. But that's not my fault. That's Facebook's crappy notification system.
Yeah, I believe you. I mean, everyone else
You
liked
had
it.
one job,
but-
Siraj.
yeah.
You had one job.
Okay, am I the only one who has not been, effed over by social media at all in any way whatsoever?
I mean,
No, I get routinely screwed over by Skype.
yeah, so you would not believe how difficult it is to get four of us recording, doing a podcast like this. So we go into Skype and then someone will have problems with that, so we'll go, oh, brilliant, let's use Google Hangouts instead, and then someone will have a problem with that, and it's going to get to the point where we are all just going to have to meet up somewhere once a fortnight and just speak to each other or something.
What was...
Yeah,
And then there'll probably a problem like, I thought I pressed the record button and we just had an entire podcast that hasn't been recorded on video.
That's all right. I was
Yeah.
going to say, but that would actually involve us actually having to go outside.
It would, yeah.
Outside, nope. I think I've heard of it.
Yeah, so that big blue box thing that I keep people hearing about.
Graphics
Yeah.
are a bit shit out there.
Yeah, I thought that. I looked out there at one point and just thought, GTA 5 is much better than this. A bit more unsafe, but you know.
No, I don't know.
America.
Unsafe but fun.
Yeah. So, I don't know who of you have watched it so far, but obviously Rooster Teeth's new show, Day 5, came out recently. Has anyone else seen it, or is it just me?
It's
haven't
on my
seen it
to-watch list.
I'm
I-
waiting, as I said, to binge watch the entire thing once it's out.
Yeah. Okay, well, as I say, we'll keep it spoiler-free. But yeah, 2 episodes have come out so far. Third one is coming out tonight, and I've just dated the recording of this, so well done me. It's such a good show. It's so good. The acting in it is brilliant. There's cameos in it, sort of as you expect, that are brilliant.
Yeah.
And the plot line. I mean, obviously, it's been 4 years in the works. Yeah, it's such a good show.
I've heard really good things about it. Like people have been comparing it to it's like a really polished at night Netflix type show.
Yeah.
Like how good the quality is. And the
Yeah,
picture.
and that's the thing. I mean, as far as I'm aware, certainly it's the first time that Rooster Teeth have ventured into sort of 45-minute episode series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see it go on Netflix at some point. But
Well, I
that's
shouldn't. Well, the Ruby series and Red
Red
vs.
vs.
Blue
Blue.
series is on Netflix, so
Yeah.
I shouldn't see any reason why we shouldn't see this.
yeah. I mean, and that's sort of an interesting point about it. Really, it's something I thought sort of after watching the first episode, and we've covered RT sponsorship as it was on this podcast before, and sort of whether it's a valid way and good that the people who do sponsor get extra content. Obviously, Day 5 is a sponsor-only show. I'm wondering if Rooster Teeth have shot themselves in the foot a little bit with that, simply because it is so good. And if they were to, have it open to everyone, would it bring in more of an audience?
Well, that's the thing, is they've set episode 1 to be free, right? Anyone can watch it, as long as you have a YouTube account. As long as you have a YouTube account and it's over the age of 18, you can watch it on YouTube, right?
Yeah, it's fully available on YouTube, the first episode.
Yeah, so it's I actually think if they didn't do that, then yes, I would agree they shot themselves in the foot. But by doing it, so it's like you have episode 1 for free, and then if you want to watch more, your sponsorship. That's actually a really clever marketing ploy, because like episode 1 I heard was like really really good. Like it got a lot of people hooked onto the show straight away. It was like it's what you want from a pilot episode of a new series.
Yeah, definitely. The question is though, I mean, obviously, yeah, that's great. They're going to draw in Rooster Teeth fans with that. How many non-Rooster Teeth fans though are they going to be able to convince to
That is
to
a good
become
question,
sponsors?
actually, yeah.
I mean, I know they've got the free trial available. How many people will do that?
Well, it's the same as like with anything else. Ultimately, at the end of the day, if someone wants to buy the membership, then they're going to buy the membership. Doesn't really matter what content's being produced by Rooster Teeth. It's down to the individual people.
Yeah, it's very true. And I know I was speaking to this about this to Joel briefly as well, and he did bring up the very valid point that eventually it'll be released on DVD, and
Yeah.
they could make a killing on it that way. If they've managed to build up enough of an audience through that first pilot episode.
Well, I mean, you'll just have first of all, I think the way Rooster is going to go about it, they'll have two audiences. Those who are RT fans right now, so all of us in this podcast, a few million other people, who will probably out of that say they have a million fans. Out of that million, roughly 75%, 80% will buy it. So
Yeah.
That's a hell of a lot of people there. And if they sell it at normal retail price for a box set, that's several thousand, 100,000
Yeah,
right there.
I mean
I'm loving where Siraj is getting these random numbers and percentages from.
that's right. He's making an example. We'll let him do it this once. I mean, yeah,
Yay.
that's the thing. I mean, with stuff like Ruby, I've not bought the DVDs. I mean, I would like to at some point, and I probably will. I just haven't, just because sort of it's an expense that I don't need to make at the moment, because
Yeah.
I can watch it on YouTube, I can watch it on the RT site, I can watch it on Netflix. I've got all those options available to me. With Day 5, I'd be inclined to say, do you know what, if that comes out as a series, I'll actually buy that, because I could then give it to a friend and go, here's this. I go on about Rooster Teeth all the time. I know you've never really been interested in sort of the gaming side of things, but watch this show, it is so good.
I have a
I'm
feeling
bringing
that that Day 5 might become like a new generation of like when you remember when they first started and Red versus Blue became the big thing that represented Rooster Teeth, and then Ruby came out and that became that brought a whole new wave of fans that hadn't previously liked Rooster Teeth or knew about them. I think Day 5 is going to be a second or third generation of popularity that's going to come towards Rooster Teeth, just because of the sheer the sheer difference in it's not totally different in format, but because it's such a change, it's nice to see the Rooster Teeth is reinventing itself, but not kind of drifting away from what's true to it. Basically.
Yeah, especially with that, because they've got another show coming out this year, haven't they? I, for the life of me, cannot remember the name of it. But the trailer for it was shown just before Laser Team.
I know the one you mean.
Yeah, it's again, it's the same sort of thing. I don't know if they're 45-minute episodes, but it's another sort of series of show that's looking pretty good. And again, they're not just using their own people anymore. They're actually getting in professional actors. Which is
Yeah.
a new
Well, it's
thing.
like when they did Laser Team. They got Colton Dunn to come in, didn't they?
Alan Richardson, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was,
And yeah, and also like in Camp Campbell, Camp Campbell. I can't say the name. Whatever.
Camp.
They can.
They got Dante Basco into it as well. Spoiler alert: latest episode, he's into it. But they have all these famous personnels coming in now, and with the expansion of the RT family now being Creatures and Screw Attack and Funhouse and blah 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 blah, they have access to so many personnels now, so many different people from different backgrounds who've done different things. It's insane.
yeah.
Well-
I mean, that's
Well, it's not. Oh, sorry. Go on, Ross.
no, I was just going to say. I mean, that's the thing, sort of how much they've grown. And obviously, I know they've been taken over by Full Screen in that time. But I remember I started watching their stuff, maybe 2.5 years ago, and sort of they were a company with 60, 70 staff, something like that. And sort of, and Bernie mentioned on the RT podcast recently, they're well over 200 now. and they're just getting bigger and bigger and opening new offices, and obviously in LA with Funhouse, and then you've got obviously RTX is on this weekend with 60,000 people there in Austin, and they've done RTX Australia, and they've hinted at RTX UK, which
Fingers crossed.
if it happens, I swear to God, I will throw all of my money at them.
Same here.
Here's a wallet. Just take it.
Yeah.
Take all of my wallet.
Here's
I
my
don't
bank
care.
card. Here's my PIN code. Money will be loaded on there by my employer once a month. Knock yourselves out. The other thing I was going to mention about them, obviously, was that they've just launched Rooster Teeth First, which is, for those who don't know, is their new sponsor deal. So if you're a Rooster Teeth sponsor currently, barely anything will change. There is I think there's a slight price difference. It's going up from $15 for 6 months to $20, which is about £80. That's a political joke. It's the only one we're going to make in this episode. I'm not mentioning politics again, but we're just throwing that economy joke there.
Yeah, the skin.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll move on past that. We won't mention it anymore. But as well as that, they've launched the gold and double gold editions, where you can pay, I think it was $35 a month, or about $175 for 6 months, and you get a load of other stuff. You get $60 worth of merch in that. I just want to see what people thought of that, really.
Oh, that's the first I've heard of it. I mean, with me being in Spain for 2 weeks, I'm sort of on a backlog of content and news to catch up with. So,
So I mean, yeah, basically, if you're an RTC sponsor at the moment, aren't you, Jason?
not at the moment.
Well,
I want to be, but it's fine. It's justifying to be able to pay the money to have it.
it's $2 a month.
I know.
$2 a month.
I know, but I've got a lot of other shit to pay for as well. So,
Okay, right. Well,
and,
consider,
which
All
takes
the
more
premium
priority.
podcast you have to pay.
consider this the charity appeal. If you want to make a donation to Jason, he will set up an RT First account.
Yeah,
Oh,
a GoFundMe.
But basically, yeah. So I mean, the Rooster Teeth sponsorship itself. If you're a Rooster Teeth sponsor, it's not changing other than the slight price difference. You'll still get content like Day 5. I promise Rooster Teeth aren't paying me for this, by the way.
Well, funny you should say that. We're going to segue into our first ad read here for Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, I wish. But yeah, no. So all that still remains the same. You still get all the shows and stuff. It's just then they've got that gold and double gold option. Where you get all this merch, and just the idea of receiving $60 worth of merch from Rooster Teeth every month. I wish I could justify the cost. But
So, just out of curiosity, Ross, how much is Rooster Teeth paying you for saying all this?
I
How many
can't-
cocks do you have to suck to say that?
At least 8. In a multi-directional dick suck
Dick
fest.
sucking fest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out
Speak-
to 10 little roosters there.
Roosters. I also forgot that name there.
Yeah.
Wasn't I'm assuming you've all seen like the older podcasts and stuff like that where they talked about like Gavin's first, being the first, like one of the first sponsors and blah 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 blah. Wasn't one of their packages back then that Gavin mentioned? Wasn't it like the double gold stuff they have now? Like they
don't
had
know.
some type of sponsorship thingy way back when they first started. Didn't
Yeah,
they?
I mean, I know because that's sort of what they've done in the trailers and stuff for Rooster Teeth First, is they've said about the part of this thing, without people sort of giving us some money of their own volition, we never would have been able to carry on doing Red vs Blue, because we just didn't have the money for it, and people were kind enough to put money into that, and that grew the community, and sort of that community has always been quite a close knit thing. But yeah, I don't know if they've ever had any other options other than just paying and getting some other stuff online.
It's just because, yeah, I know, like they're very heavily. For God's sake, words, please, damn it.
So-
Keep a flub counter. Just do a drinking game. Whenever I flub, take a shot.
Oh God, no! Don't! You'll die.
Down a bottle, more
No.
like.
I can't. I'll be editing this, so I can't promise. there won't be
I'm
a
also
flood
I'm
counter.
also on painkillers at the minute as well, so I'm not allowed to drink.
Jesus.
What is wrong with everyone? I'm also on antibiotics, so yeah.
I'm
we're all correct.
Antibiotics.
Only healthy one here.
Technically,
I
I'm in full physical health. I've got my health. I just, hitting a concrete floor does have a detrimental
Which-
effect of how you feel.
We'll come on to that story in a minute, but just before we do, I just want to hear Siraj flub what he was trying to say a bit more. So
Yeah.
carry on.
I don't remember what I was trying to flub. I said I kept flubbing.
No, I'll be honest,
Okay.
I wasn't listening to you.
Oh, cheers.
I'll be
man.
honest, everything you say is going to get cut from the final edition anyway. So
Oh, thanks. So I'm just here for fodder.
yeah, pretty much.
Gonna get
Oh,
cut
no,
and
that's what I was
face
saying.
technical difficulties.
All right. Well, as Siraj is useless and forgotten what he was going to say.
I just remembered. It's
Oh,
like you
go
have
on.
those brain fart moments, and then you remember it after you've had the brain fart. Yeah,
Yeah, go on.
Forget it then.
yeah. What I was gonna say is, Rooster Teeth is heavily community focused,
Hmm.
and they always have been. They've always admitted they have been, and they will be, and so on and so forth. But it's just like, I want to see the statistics for how much money the community has given to Rooster Teeth
I,
in comparison to like what they make.
I dread to think, because I mean, obviously you've got the store and
Yeah, no,
sponsorship
you're
and
You'll have store sponsorship, Indiegogo.
well, the
Book
Indiegogo
company.
itself was a couple of million, wasn't it? Although I imagine that probably compares that probably just fails in comparison to the amount they make through the store.
Oh, probably
'Cause
definitely.
that's got to be a decent amount.
As soon as you start-
Especially
as soon as you
considering
start
they've got
talking
three
about specifics
versions of the
money-wise,
store.
it's when it starts to kill the interesting things. Because then people start seeing numbers, they don't see content. So
Yeah. Actually, before we move on to Jason's story, there is another. It's Rooster Teeth related, community wise. We'll mention. Also, we've got RTUK coming up in
yes, we do.
August. Again, for those who don't know,
14
sadly,
something away.
yeah, sadly, this isn't Rooster Teeth themselves coming, but it's a community-led thing.
It's 46 days away as of this date when we're recording.
There you go. Set up by our illustrious leader, head of RTUK, Craig.
Brexit.
Craig's it, yes, indeed.
Yes, you may bow.
So yeah, I mean, who's going? Obviously, I know me and you are, Adam.
I am. I'm
I
definitely going.
am. I am intending to, but there is also the possibility that I could get hit by a bus. So I'm
Jesus.
I'm in a non-committal saying, but I will hopefully gonna try and go.
And
What
Siraj?
bus driver's got it out for you?
I was just from Jason saying yes. Being hit by bus may be non-committal. God damn it! I flubbed again.
But
and-
you are planning on being there.
Sadly, no. I will instead be looking for a job to make the next one.
That's not good enough, Siraj.
I'm a
yourself down to
student and I'm
Tesco's.
poor. Not my fault.
Well, yeah. So me, Adam, and maybe Jason, if the hitman doesn't get him, will be
Well,
there.
Barry's been trying to track me down. So,
You say try,
she's
and
got
she found you.
generalised areas to where I live.
If you sent you maps through the post of where she is in relation to where your house is, I know where you are. I'm coming.
Yeah,
glad you forget
I'm
where
just gonna get a single get a Siraj. It's
Reading.
Yeah,
It's not Reading. That's way too far.
Oh Jesus. All right.
it's contagious.
So going
But,
back
yeah,
to
I'm just gonna get a white envelope saying I know where you live. I'm gonna go. Oh, crap, Barry's found me.
But yeah, going back to RTUK, so it's on over the weekend. I should be coming up. I'll be there on the Friday, and then I'm planning on staying through to Sunday. I'm staying at the Holiday Inn, so if you're staying there, give me a shout.
Oh, you're
and
right
we'll-
in the centre of Leicester at the Holiday.
Yeah, give me a shout if you're staying there, and we'll party sometime.
No
That's
problem.
humanity.
I think this is my third RTUK. So I've
Okay.
been there. I started going in 2013. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what it'll be like this year because of the sheer amount of people on the Facebook group
Hmm.
that have completely exploded on the RTUK page.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm a recent member of RTK. I knew nothing about it until after Laser Team, which was when I joined.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's first time for me. It'll be an interesting one.
Put it this way: in 2013, when I first went, it was about 30 people, 40 people maybe.
Wow.
Last year, it was about 50 to 60. This year, I think it's probably going to be a couple of hundred, at least. turn up.
Damn.
But yeah, so it might be a case that Craig gets mobbed. Sorry,
think
I'll change that. It won't be might. He will.
He will.
Um,
Sure of it.
Upgrade 2K16.
Yeah, the Cards Against Humanity card that I came up with, where it's to getting trampled to death by 250 RTKers cosplaying as Craig, may just come true. That's what we're facing.
To be honest, as long as it gets recorded and we get it on YouTube, that
Yeah.
sounds like a plan to me.
As long as there's
So long-
content.
I was going to say, so long as there's content.
Yeah, all we aim for. So yeah, we'll move on from Rooster Teeth for a little bit now, because yeah, if you're not a Rooster Teeth fan, that's been a long section. Jason, I understand you've had a bit of an incident today.
That's putting it lightly. So,
Go on.
right, I play a fantastic sport called Airsoft, which is essentially, you run around, you shoot at people, people shoot at you. And sometimes it can hurt. Now, today, got into the first game, one of my teammates, he was hit, and he had to go back to the respawn point, which left me the furthest man up the line, to the closest to the enemy. But they were also flanking around, and I was in very serious danger of being cut off. So I decided, I'll fall back. I'll go rejoin the rest of them. I took about 5 steps, lost my balance, got about 35 degrees closer to the floor, and went, yep, this isn't going to end well. And then slammed into the concrete floor, landing on the palm of my right hand and square on my left arm. I just flattened on it. I have had to have a trip up to A&E to make sure nothing was broken.
And yeah, sadly, there wasn't anything broken. Not because I don't like you or anything, just because that would have been content. But no.
If it's of any consolation, Ross, my arm hurts like hell.
Oh, okay. Well, that's something at least.
Well, if you want to take anything away from this podcast, it's that Ross is a sadistic bastard.
Jason, what arm did you just pull
Someone
on?
has to fill in for Barry.
Yeah.
Well,
Can't
no.
confirm. I told you she was here in spirit. I didn't say she was controlling me.
Oh,
He's chill.
it all makes sense now.
Wait, Jason, what arm hurts?
Left.
And what are you left-handed or right-handed?
All right.
I'm right.
I
I'm
see-
right.
I
Siraj,
see
I
where
see
Siraj
where
is
you're
going
going
with this.
You just have to make sure that you don't have to do a carry and learn the other hand. Simple.
Bit stranger danger. What's
Gerard, giving you some tips there.
Siraj has gone quiet.
That's my answer to that.
Good. Very, very committed.
Another
And Siraj
conversation.
is
Yeah.
chill with Gavin.
Also, at that moment in time, my microphone decided to mute itself, so I heard nothing for like 5 seconds.
Yeah. It muted itself like
It did. Oh
like
god.
technology often does. It just
It does when you have the spinny wheel on your leg. Volume control. That's it. Not spinny wheel.
Speaking of technology,
Right, okay.
technology actually, there was so most of you may not know about this, though at some point it will become clear to all of you. If you know what it's regarding, don't say anything about it. There at some point should have been a Minecraft Let's Play coming out, and I downloaded someone's footage yesterday so I could start editing it over the next few days, and spent ages with it in a file converter so that I could start editing. Finished doing it after an hour and a half, and there's just no video in the footage. It's just audio. So yeah,
That's quite funny.
not entirely sure how I'm going to edit that now. I think I've thought of a way around it. As I say, it's a video that may not come out for a couple of months. It's dependent on
Like a
something.
radio play then.
Out of curiosity, what file was it originally? Like, what was the file type?
It was originally an FLV
Download. Did you convert it to? What did you convert it to?
MP4.
Download it. Download
See what
an
Siraj
FLV
said,
video
yeah.
player
If I
and
had
use that, because that's what I had to do for one of our podcasts. I got FLV file,
Okay.
and MP4 it wouldn't work properly.
Right.
But
okay.
if you download an FLV viewer, it
Yeah.
should work.
Sorry,
properly.
guys. This is just some technical advice time on the podcast now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take your advice time.
play some technical difficulties music in the background.
Yeah. But then what was quite annoying as well was this wasn't a technical error. This was the user error. Can't confirm who the person was. Might be me. Me and Jason.
Yeah, I
brief-
thought this was the video you were referring to.
Yeah, it's actually a different one, but yeah.
Okay.
We did it was sort of like a thing to do, I guess. Just a quick one, 10 minutes.
Things to update.
Yeah, the other day, and
Shall I explain why we did this video?
No,
Go on.
no.
Okay.
Go on. No, don't. No, shut up. No, don't.
I'm not going to explain what we did in the video. I'm just going to say, shall I explain what led us to do the video?
No, because I want the thing to be discovered naturally.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but so me and Jason did a follow-up video to that, and we sort of got on really quickly, did it, smashed it out because Jason had like flown home that day or something.
Yeah,
so
pretty
we
much.
got the video done, and I went, brilliant, thanks very much, I'll chat to you later, and then went to sort out the video and just get it uploaded into Final Cut, and I'd decided to record the audio and my desktop. So yeah.
So you've got like 2 hours of the background of your desktop screen.
Well, fortunately, no. It was only 10 minutes. So
It really was. It was just literally a quick update as to what we'd been doing.
yeah. So not entirely sure what I'm going to do with that. I think we're going to have to re-record it. But yeah, keep an eye on our channel for some more gaming videos at some point. And they'll,
Yeah.
they'll be at
Potential
some
gaming
point.
videos.
And yeah, got another Let's Play in the works because of something Adam's done. Tell us what you did on Minecraft. Adam?
I went onto the MC server that we've all got, and the very first thing I ever built was a barn. And at the time, I was like, I haven't got much time. Just build some things. I could put a bed in it, and it'd be great. And I was looking at it, and I was like, this is great, but everyone else has got massive houses, and one's on fire, and one's like, I think Barry's is the one that's got multiple tiers on it, or it might be Charlie. I'm not quite sure.
That's Charlie's, yeah.
Charlie.
That's Charlie's.
I have two houses and a secret hideout.
Sorry.
I have a shed.
Carry on.
No, I was just going to say I have two. I've got my sort of like my little farm, cottagey type thing, and my ship.
Oh right, okay. I haven't seen the ship yet, but I've seen the little farm thingy.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
also have a secret hideaway, which no one has actually found because there's been no signs or anything
It's so
appearing
secret.
it.
No one's found it.
He thinks no one's found it.
Well, put it like this: I'm pretty sure if anybody had found it, Ross, there were signs would appear in it saying we have
Jason.
found it.
You
Is it-
really underestimate my ability to play the long prank, don't you?
I think I
Wrong.
might know what the long prank might be, but I'm not going to reveal it because it won't. If I think I know what it is. But yeah, anyway, going back to what I was saying,
Yeah.
I basically built a barn, and I was like, yeah, fine, but I need an actual house. So I built a farmhouse to go with it. Well, it started off as a farmhouse, it's kind of more of a mansion now, and there is a empty room in that mansion. And I was just speaking on the Facebook wall, and I was like, anyone want the guest bedroom? Got quite a few answers, so next Let's Play is whoever wins Let's Play. Fuck you, Siraj. Next,
I was quiet.
whoever wins the next play will get the guest bedroom in the mansion. They can redecorate it. They can resize it if they will, as long as it's not too crazy. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
what Let's Play is.
I'm currently planning that at the moment. There'll be, yeah, we'll need to. I need to do the planning. We'll need to get a day we can all record, and yeah, duke it out over that next bedroom. I think whoever wins the game, Barry's going to end up taking the bedroom.
I have a feeling that might happen. Yeah, if she doesn't win, she might burn down the bedroom every time.
Yeah.
or something.
So, speaking of Barry and Minecraft, so I mean, if you've read my bio on the website, you'll know that she really likes playing pranks on me.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes they're little minor ones, and sometimes it's
They're complete reconstruction jobs.
burning down my house. Yeah. Although to be fair to her, I will just point out my house did burn down the other day without her actually doing anything, and she did rebuild it without any reference, which is pretty damn good.
Did you rebuild it well?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. She did a damn near perfect job, with one edition. And so I walked into my house after I knew she'd done it, just see what she managed to do. Really impressed with how it looked, and went in and went into one of my side rooms, and I thought, oh, there's more bookcases in there than there were before. I guess she just put a few extra in, and then I noticed in amongst these bookcases was a dropper, and I went, right, okay, that's weird. And so I had a look in the dropper, and those of you who don't know me, you can't really tell from my lack of accent, but I am in fact Welsh. And in that dropper, it was full, nearly full, of sheep eggs. And I didn't have the sound turned on my laptop. For whatever reason, I just hadn't turned it on. And then I turned round, and there was about 7 or 8 sheep behind me. And what she'd done was run a tripwire across the front of my building so that I had to walk past it to get in, that then led to this dropper, and every time it got hit, a sheep would pop out. And there have been times when I may have got a little bit salty with Barry about some of the pranks she's pulled, but
that is the most
that's
ingenious.
a pretty good one. Like,
I love Harry.
I've heard,
I love her. No, that's amazing.
Ross,
I've heard most sheep jokes you can possibly think of, but that's a good one. I like that one. I approve. It's
a nice twist on a classic, isn't it?
But yeah, so we've got some stuff coming on Minecraft soon as well. Possibly some...
Talking about Let's Plays, I'm still in the process of actually doing my Let's Play, which we have discussed about.
Is the King Let's Play?
The King Let's Play, yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, it should be a good one, that one.
I'm putting the finishing touches onto it, so hopefully we should be able to get a chance to sort that one out. I've just got to tweak the last couple of challenges.
So we've got a few things planned on the Minecraft thing, but yeah, I think there's. I know you were saying earlier, Adam. There's some times on there when you just jump on, and you can just see just something will appear in front of you that you're really not expecting. So, funny story about the giant cock. Those who listened to the last podcast will know Jacob, who was a guest on that. He's Barry's partner. And so before me and Barry did this, did a recording at some point, I jumped onto the podcast. And I've heard the footage of this now, so I've also heard the conversation they were having beforehand. And so I came into the server and was like... And yeah, Loda, and there was this cock on Jason's house, and I was like, all right, cock on someone's house, about par for the course in this server, really. And then I just heard her say, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was just something along the lines of, Jacob, you fucking idiot. And I was like, what's he done? And she just went, you've built the cock on the wrong fucking house. That's not Ross's house, that's Jason's house. So she'd been like, because we'd planned this, and I was going to come onto Minecraft, and she'd like lied to me about the fact that they were having dinner, so that I wouldn't come on in the middle of it. And then I loaded onto the server, and she had he just built this fairly impressive penis on the wrong house. So that was the thing that happened.
That's staying now. That has to stay.
No, believe me, once we've redone the update video. Trust me, it's being burnt to a crisp.
I mean, if you burn it, your house will burn as well. So
no, there are ways around that.
Be careful with that.
Just blow it up.
But yeah, so and I know we've got some obviously a lot of Minecraft stuff planned. Obviously, it's quite an easy stuff to record with, but I know we've got some other bits planned as well. Hopefully, we're going to do. Well, I'd like to do some Left 4 Dead 2 stuff at some point.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Previously, it's only been me and Charlie playing it. Joel has joined a couple of times, and we've streamed it on Charlie's stream, Z Ace Queen, if you want to find her. So yeah, hopefully at some point we can look at doing a Let's Play in that. I know me and Suraj have both just bought Portal 2 as well, which Barry also has. I don't know if anyone else has got any other particular Let's Plays planned.
Sorry, Suraj, do you want to jump ahead?
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I literally just today started doing a Twitch stream. So if anyone wants to follow me on Twitch, my Twitch handle is Finners588.
Subtle plug there. Um,
Very
should,
subtle inside joke there.
should also mention, actually, because we mentioned it a couple of times, if you want to know of any of our streams, our Twitch streams, there are a couple of us that stream. If you go to our website, nerdsandswordspodcast.com, and go to the About Us page, there's links to all our Twitches there. Me, Charlie, Barry, Adam, and a few others have got Twitches that we're on occasionally. Some of us more regular than others.
I think also whoever's editing this, so Ross, put it in the link up as well, so it'll be there for you guys as well, along with Twitches and what else? That's about it, right? We have Twitters and
Facebook and Twitter. Yeah, there'll be links to all that in the link dump.
No, what I was gonna say is, isn't there that tank dating game we have as well?
Yes, funnily enough, when me and Barry were on Minecraft last week, we discussed that, and so we really need to record the second part of it. To be honest, I think we should probably start again, really, just because it's been so long.
I think we probably should, because all I remember in that game is the M1 Abrams is dopey as hell, if I remember correctly.
I'll believe you if you say it. I can't remember.
I just remember just like they're all weird. I remember one of them made a tank sex joke. I'm pretty sure.
Probably there's probably something like cannons in there.
I think it was like the cannon will back up into my nozzle or something like that.
But yeah, that was a Let's Watch me, Barry, and Siraj were doing that we need to do at some point.
What's the game called? Like, I was gonna say Pandemonium.
It's Panzer Model or something.
That's it. Yeah,
it's
Panzer something.
Tank dating simulator. It's such a
tank
weird
dating
game.
simulator. That sounds crazy.
So, not to give too much away, but basically, it's this. Like, it's difficult to say, but
is it like Blind Date with tanks?
Not quite. No. So it's like it's anime is the way it's drawn, and it's based in this school where all the girls there and the teachers think they're tanks, apparently.
Right. Don't ask, it's Japan.
Your words, Adam, not mine. Bit racist, for sure.
No, it's funny Adam actually says that, because Barry found a Soviet Union or German version of the game. Like, when you get the game, you can choose to do a Soviet Union version,
So,
which I think is harder.
by Soviet Union, do you mean Russia?
No, it says USSR.
I think it is. If I remember rightly, it's described as USSR.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
I legit meant the
How
Soviet
old is
Union,
this game,
not Russia.
I know it's a fairly new game. I think
I'm pretty sure it came out December maybe or January.
Well, it's just the USSR does not actually exist anymore. That's
Yeah, haven't
more-
they-
But the game's set in like some weird universe.
Oh,
It's
right,
set
right.
where people think they're tanks.
I was
Jake.
going to say
I wouldn't.
If your
I
problem
wouldn't
with this
be
game,
mad about the USSR being in there.
if that's your problem with this game, then I'm going to suggest you seek out psychiatric help.
Well, no. I just wasn't sort of, catching on to what he was meaning.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, this is Siraj we're talking about.
That's a fair point.
You have to kind of like listen for a couple of
I've
minutes.
been
Get what
today
he's
for
talking
you guys.
about.
I've been covering glitter by gay people. I'm having a good day today.
All right then.
All right,
got that
no,
in.
it's stupid. Now that sounds context. But yes, that's happened.
But yeah, so plenty of that to look forward to soon. It'll all be on our regular channel, so make sure you subscribe to that.
So we've got a fairly full calendar for content that should hopefully be coming out soon. Then.
Yeah, so I
bursting
mean,
with fun.
our podcasts will be regular, and they'll be coming out on Wednesdays fortnightly at 2 p.m. You can find those either on our YouTube or on our website. Everything else will be a bit more sporadic. We've not got set release dates for those at the moment. It will be as and when. And that's obviously, with the Let's Plays we've got planned.
Yeah, we'll try and give notice via our Twitter beforehand. Of, like,
that's it. Yeah, I mean, obviously,
X episode coming out tomorrow.
yeah.
Roughly 24 hours notice.
Once we know we've got something recorded and it'll be edited sort of within a couple of days, we'll advertise it.
So
Unless
basically,
Siraj is
like
editing.
audio logs.
Then it'll be like a week.
Yeah, but and then obviously we've got our streams as well, which are obviously dependent on individuals and what they're doing. I'm going to be streaming probably once a week to start with, coming up soon, moving on to twice a week, and then others sort of just do it sporadically. So Yeah, plenty to look forward to.
On the note of like watching people stream and stuff, did you guys hear about the issue YouTube had recently? The
Sorry,
hacking,
Vague.
Which one?
the hacking one with the like people lost loads of subs and people gained loads of subs
Oh,
out of nowhere.
Do you know? I
That's
heard.
YouTube, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I heard that sort of because I think it was Rooster Teeth said something about it with Funhouse. They hit 1 million subscribers and then lost like 40,000 or something. And funnily enough, actually, now that you say that, Nerdcubed as well. He was sort of waiting to do a 2.5 million subs thing that sort of he thought was about to come out, and then suddenly he'd lose some subscribers, so it wouldn't. So was that a hacking thing then?
Yeah, apparently, some hacking group or something happened. I don't know the full story. But I just saw like snippets of it on the.
I know what Siraj is
internet.
talking about because there was also a blogger that I follow as well having exactly the same problem. Like he was at VidCon and his channel got hacked and took down effectively. It was only like a couple of days, but it was like he's quite a influential YouTuber, not like a little small person. It was like if damn it, Siraj got it again.
Didn't do anything.
Know what it is. Every time I start to speak about something that Siraj just talked about, I go and end up having a stammer.
His flub contagion has spread.
It is. It's a
I
contagion.
will
of
corrupt
flub.
you all. You will all be my flubmeister.
What was that, Siraj?
Oh, fuck it.
Carry on, Adam.
Yeah, so
The year
there's
of the
another
flub.
blogger who had his entire channel like pulled down for like 2 days whilst at VidCon. But luckily it came back up again because he was with a load of other YouTubers and he found somebody who worked for Google who could bring his channel back up basically. But it's scary how someone can just like do that to you, and if you didn't have the resources, you have no way of actually getting it back or
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
like,
but
serious damage.
Funnily enough, that was it was different, but again with YouTube, it happened with I don't know if anyone subscribes to him, Scott Manley. He does a lot of streaming, and yeah, I'm not entirely sure how it happened, but for whatever reason, his stream key got broadcast, and people got hold of it, and so then like loads of people were going onto a stream and broadcasting it to YouTube or. And then some others were trying to sit on his stream and just do nothing so that people couldn't get onto it and do that. But I remember it happened because I sort of woke up on I think it was Sunday morning or something, and I had in my subs feed there was like 60 or 70 videos from him, and I was just like, what the hell is going on? And he lost I think it was a few thousand subscribers just because people were seeing all these subs videos and just going, oh, do you know what, sod it.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then because there was a lot of sort of spam from his channel, he then had the limit imposed on his videos, so he couldn't release anything over 15 minutes. And it was the same sort of thing with him. He had to sort of go to YouTube and speak to someone and say, look, nothing I could do about this, could we?
Yeah.
And fortunately for him, it's again.
I
it
see
got
it on
fixed.
Twitch as well. Like you're watching a Twitch stream, and so there's the thing called follower chains, where it's not real people, but someone basically infects somebody's Twitch stream with a load of random fake followers, and
Right.
every 5 minutes it will come up saying you've been followed by such and such, and it's just like a stream of numbers and letters, and it's not a real person type thing. And but basically it forces the Twitch streamer to basically end their stream and then not come on for a couple of days or whatever.
That sucks.
'Cause it basically screws up their stream because they can't do anything because all they're getting is the big follower thing come up on the screen all the time.
Yeah. No, but it's like this YouTube hack that happened. It's peculiar in a way because it wasn't just like big influential YouTubers who lost a bunch of subscribers, which that's what the main thing the article I read was targeted on. Like PewDiePie, Rooster Teeth, Achievement Hunter lost X amount of followers. But it was like these unknown channels suddenly got an increase of followers. So I don't know what the hacker did, but I'm assuming he got those people who followed Achievement Hunter, Rooster Teeth, PewDiePie, Markiplier, whatever, got those people who left them and made them subscribe to these random people who are unknown. So
Well, he didn't send them our way. We're still sitting at 15 viewers,
If you've got any
subscribers.
subscribers at home
It
that
wasn't
you want
YouTube
to share with us,
There was like quite
our
a few
YouTube
people,
channel is.
yeah, No, there's like quite a few indie YouTubers and stuff like that, like low YouTubers, just suddenly got an increase of subscribers, and they were like, "This is not right."
I wonder if what
shouldn't
those indie subscribers were the people who actually did it, so they were trying to punish them by sending them a load of spam back.
maybe, but you know, from what I read, like no one found out. Like it was like some hibernate, group that claimed they did it. It wasn't. They weren't linked to any YouTube accounts. They just
Right.
did it for the sake of doing it. It's really random
Yeah,
and
weird.
weird. Like it's like it's not the worst hacking that's been done. Like the Steam hack that happened a while back, where people got access to other people's bank accounts, was pretty bad. So this is, you didn't lose any like personal details or anything. You just lost subscribers. But it's weird that hackers now do that. Like they hack, quote unquote, for the people type thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the thing as well. It's sort of hacking. It's taken on a. Well, I must say that. And obviously, there's always been an element of it, but it's taken on a whole new thing. Sort of, previously there's a benefit to doing it. You
Yeah.
get into a bank systems and you can transfer loads of money across, or you can get into state systems and find loads of secrets. But it's becoming more about. I mean, there's an element of people doing it, just for the badge, essentially.
Yeah, an
Just
element of
Yeah.
Robin Hood.
look at this thing I did. But also, you see sort of a lot of times when password things get leaked, and sort of it'll just be announced to the media online somewhere. A group will say, right, we've got all this information because you don't know how to protect your site properly. We're not going to release it, but if we've got it and can do that, you might want to check your systems.
That
'cause-
reminds me, actually, my partner's best friend had exactly that thing happen to him at work, where their like security was breached, and they basically held the IT firm to ransom and said like, we're gonna release all these information about you unless you give us ... And he was basically stuck trying to work this, trying to hack the hackers back again, if you know what I mean. Trying to plug the gap for like days on end until he finally managed to get it closed, basically.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's like it must be like an absolutely horrible experience to go through.
Yeah, there's an element though as well of people being stupid with that sort of thing, because I'm not going to name the company, but a company I used to work for once sent out a fake phishing email to all staff with a Starbucks thing on it saying, sign up here and you can get a free coffee. And sort of a company of about 1,000 people, they had 113 people click on that link and enter their username and password. But it was, even though, so all right, in this instance, it had been sent out by the IT department to test who would do it and reinforce the message of internet security. But 113 people still saw a thing for free Starbucks and went, yeah, that's probably genuine,
Yeah,
and entered their details. It's
It's scary stuff, to be fair.
yeah,
I still think
Unfortunately-
it's mind-boggling sometimes when you get like lists come through on news websites saying the most common passwords that people use, and password 123 is
Yeah.
always at number one. It's like, who's still using that password?
I mean, to be fair, that Password 123, people who use that are normally educational firms who like mass give out laptops for like exams or something.
Yeah.
And instead of creating like a super complex password for each user, they make one account and one password, and everyone shares that. Like for my exam, which I just did my A levels, I had access to a tablet for my essay exams, and the password for that was exam 2016.
yeah. And
Nothing complex.
Going to say, funnily enough, actually, a company I used to work for had a group inbox, and the password for that was just the month and the year,
Yeah.
and that was it. And it's just like, I get that you've got to do it, and for group inboxes, it isn't as simple as what they say for individuals to do. So, for example, a really good one is a song lyric that's personal to you, because you're not having to mess about with special characters and numbers and capital
Oh
letters
god,
in the
I
right
fucking
place.
hate it when it tells
Yeah,
you to
and
do
it's
that.
you're just throwing all these things at you, and there's actually a very good thing that was done on XKCD. I'll put a link to it in the link dump as well. where he talks about, you can put in all these characters and then you get to put in your password in after a couple of months and you go, shit, I don't know. Whereas if you just do something like, correct horse battery staple, I think are the 4 words he uses, you'll remember it. Because, you'll remember it because those are 4 vivid images in your mind and you can do something with that. But also, it's more difficult to guess because you've got so many different levels of entropy in there that it's just, and even a computer doing it is going to take so long to break down a 26 key password that you can remember than it will a 10 key password that you haven't got a clue what's going on in.
Well, it's strange that we're talking about this. Does anyone remember watching that program where what was it? I think it was like 22 members of the UK went on. Essentially, they went on the run, and the authorities for this like security firm would then try to track them down using whatever information they had available to them. So if they like mobile phones, they could track them, like car license plates if they were driving around. And essentially you had like the various different methods that people would use to sort of evade these things. And essentially one of them was he was a doctor, so he would need lots of passwords for different accounts and stuff like that. So he would use the same password for all of these. And they got his laptop, went in and went, well, he's got his passwords written down. Tap, 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 tap. Well, we've got his entire itinerary. We have an idea where he's going to be.
Yeah, I know. I can't say I ever watched that, but
I remember the documentary being on Channel 4, wasn't it, or Channel 5?
Yeah.
I don't know. Was it a real thing or was it like a stage thing they did?
I don't know whether it was real only in so much that the people filming it knew what was going on. The local people of the United Kingdom knew it was being filmed because obviously you'd have the guys with cameras with them.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a particular incident where one of the guys gets off the train. Yeah, they got there ahead of him because they knew that's where the train was going to stop, and they just said, "Look, don't make a fuss. We've caught you," because the police do not know what we're doing. So, you make it, we make a scene on the platform, things might not end well.
But they do things like that, or similar sorts of things quite often, don't they? I know there's one that starts by Dartmoor Prison, where I think it's a charity event. But basically what you've got to do is you start there. Yeah,
I know that.
And you've got, I think it's 24 hours. I think it is.
Head start, yeah.
Well, it's not even a head start. It's not a case of you being chased or anything. It's just that you've got 24 hours to get geographically as far away from that place as you physically can. You've got no money. You've got nothing with you. All you can do is try and convince people to do things for you.
Yeah.
So and you're welcome to say that you're taking part in this thing, and you've got to get away, and so you've got to make your way, try and hitchhike to the local train station where you've got to try and convince someone to pay for a train ticket for you to get to London, so that you can try and get onto a plane to get away. I
have a feeling I'd be terrible at that because I'm so socially awkward that I'd be like going up to a stranger and asking them to buy something for me. Like, nope, that's not going to happen.
But it's the same sort of thing where like sales tactics come from. It's just some people are just really good at doing that and really confident with it, and it's an interesting one.
That sounds really freaking cool. Have I not heard of this before?
I don't know. Yeah, I've googled it. I don't know what it says. If you just Google something like Dartmoor
Prison Charity,
Prison Chase Charity or something, it should bring it up.
It sounds similar to an event that I think happens fairly close to where I am. It's essentially you get a 24-hour head start, and then essentially you try to see how far you can get away before you get caught. This is essentially, it's like you go on the run, but it's done for charity.
Yeah, things like that are really.
Or there is a specific finish line where you have to try and get there. I forget what the entire details are.
Yeah, things like that are so interesting though, just because both from the viewpoint of seeing how far people can get or whether people can get there, but also the psychology element of it, of how people got there. Did they start running, or were they able to convince someone to do something for them that
Like, did
Wouldn't
they
normally
say the truth
happen.
that they are part of this prison run, or did they lie and, like, try and not mention the word prison?
Yeah, well, that's
Did they
it.
put a good disguise on, or did they go like completely plain clothes and stuff?
Yeah, yeah, it's really interesting concept.
Speaking on the point of like marketing schemes, there's one thing that like I find so confusing and weird, right? But we see it all the time. It's like whenever you go like buy something, right? Like a game, food, clothes, whatever. It's never exactly rounded to a pound. It's like 99, like £4 99, or like £14 99, or like 21.99, something like that. Why the 99? Why not
It's-
round it up?
It's a psychological thing. So if
Yeah.
you go and see something that's £4.99, in your mind you're going, that item is £4, rather than that item is £5. Now, obviously,
Have any of you done that? Like when you see that, you go, "It's 4, not 5."
it's,
I have
I
done that,
just round
but
it up
it's
to the
only
nearest
certain amounts.
pound.
it's not something necessarily you think about though. I'm sure you go, and if you actually pay attention to the price and see that's £4.99, you can think to yourself that's £5. But if you walk up to something and just go four, and just literally read the first number, read the first number, see a decimal point afterwards, and ignore the rest because what a pence between friends. I think it's that element of it.
Yeah, like because I was told as well, like it's a psychological thing. People will look at the 4, not the 99 after it. After it. But
I wonder
I'm
what
s-
happens
like-
when you take into account the 5p carrier bag charge. It over.
All
then it
goes wrong
skews
from
everything
there.
over and it's all messed up. No,
So
but it's
freeze
like
over.
how many, like, because I'm like Jason. I never look at something and go, "It's that." I round it up always within my head, no matter what. I'm like, you say 4.99. That's that's 5. It's it's £1.50. It's like £1.55. No, so that's £1.60. I round it up like because of maths reasons. You just round up to the next
It's
thing.
easier to if you go like say it's £2.49 or it's £1.99. If you go right, okay, so that's £2.50. That's £4. It's easier for you to go right. Well, that's X amount of pounds then, because then you don't have to add up all these 99p's, which are then going to well, it's going to be £3.49 or £3.67 because I've got these 99 pences. So it's just easy to make it a whole number and then add them all together.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like so then I looked into it after I was told it's a psychological thing. People look at the first number and the other
It
one.
is
I
a
looked up-
psychological thing.
Like, I know it is, but I looked up how many people actually fall for that and don't realize it's more than they thought it was. A lot of people do that.
sometimes.
I've
It's
never
pretty
met
like,
anyone
if
who
it's
does
like
that.
£6.99 or £7.99 or £8.99. Don't know what it's about those three numbers, but if it's any of those three numbers, I will accidentally say, oh, it's 6 instead of saying, oh, it's 7.
Yeah,
Well, it's like you
any
said
other
with
option I'll be
adverts
fine
that-
with, but for some reason it tricks me for those three.
and that's the thing as well. It's a case of, I mean, obviously you say you look at these numbers and you round it up, but you only do that when you know you're doing it. How many times do you subconsciously just see a number and go, yeah, that's a price that I'm willing
Yeah.
to pay for that product, and just go on without thinking about it?
Like the only time I can genuinely say I would fall for that is like if I view the price and it's like small, like in small print, then I'll just look at the first number and like because it's small print, I don't want to bother like squinting my eyes to read it. I'll quickly skim through it and see the first number and that's it.
I tell you
But
one.
when you
where-
normally see those things, it's big.
Well, that's the thing. I tell you one where it's really common, actually, and people do, and I regularly hear people doing it, is petrol and diesel. Because if you look, the vast majority of the time, the prices of them are, for example, 117.9. And it's just that thing of you see it and you go, right, okay, that's 117 a litre. But it's not,
Yeah.
it's 118 a litre.
Oh,
And
yeah,
obviously
yeah.
a penny doesn't make much difference, but people do it all the time. People just see that number and go, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Decimal point doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's so shocking to me. Like that's the thing that just fascinates me. It's like people fall for that. Like there's nothing they can do against it. They'll just fall for it.
But as I say, it's just a
just a-
subliminal, subconscious thing. I mean, it comes from the same sort of thing as subliminal messaging. It's designed to play on the human mind and the way the brain works. And
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
but
the way
like,
that our
what-
mind three
what-
things.
Yeah, but like, what part of your brain makes you fall for that? Like, what's
The part
the
of your
part
brain
that
where
says,
everybody's
ignore the
terrible at
decimal.
math.
Decimals don't matter.
It's
like-
the part that thinks it's an egg, Siraj.
No,
Oh, good.
the mind's the egg, not the brain.
I thought the brain
Basically,
was...
everybody's terrible at maths.
I thought
That's
the
what
brain
you
was
take
the
away from
egg.
this conversation.
No, I said wait. Oh no, sorry. Yes, you're right. Yes,
The
the
mind's
brain is the
inside the
egg, and the
brain.
mind is the yolk inside it. That, yeah, you're correct. You're
Jesus.
correct.
And so Siraj has already forgotten his own theory.
No, because I got confused between the brain and mind because they're very similar. But the brain is the actual thing. The mind's what's inside it. The mind's what
Go
controls
on.
the brain. The brain is just fodder.
Go on.
What
Do you know what? If we ever get around to sort of, if this becomes something and we're able to start producing t-shirts, that is one of the first t-shirts we're doing. Brains
Right,
are eggs.
Brains are eggs, yeah.
Brains are eggs.
Keep an eye out for that on the t-shirt, folks.
There's also another one which I don't think Ross will be very impressed of.
Oh, which one's that?
It's the fossilized sperm.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Oh no,
I
go
agree
do
with
that.
that
Do
one.
that. That's hilarious. That one.
Yeah, sadly, we can't ever actually release that. Well, I say ever. At the moment, we can't release it. Yeah, the person involved vetoed it for reasons. So yeah, we can't. And
That anecdote was probably the very first time I actually fucking properly belly laughed
it
of
was.
something on the podcast.
It's probably, and this is the really annoying thing. It is probably the single funniest thing we've ever said on a recording, and we can't release it. And the person who said it and who's stopping us from releasing it, no, I am coming for you. I will find you.
He is a comedically selfish man
Yes.
or woman.
The world of our low level of listeners is missing out on comedic entertainment because of you. So when you listen to this, no.
You are robbing the world of laughter.
Yeah.
We
you could be
currently
popular.
have 5 possible t-shirt designs. We have the 2 that we've already spoke of, the podcast logo shirt, what is my name, and 2 minutes 59 to Siraj.
Yeah.
There is actually a thing. I'm just going to load that one up and see what it actually says.
I just love how the last one. I wasn't even in that podcast, and I get mentioned.
Oh, 0 to Siraj in 3
Like
minutes.
That's it, yeah. So it's Siraj in 3 minutes. We've got plenty on the go. But yeah, time to wrap up there, I think. So we've got a load of stuff coming out. Keep an eye out for our podcasts on Wednesday. Next one will be 2 weeks from this one. Follow our social media stuff to get updates on our games and everything we're doing there. If you want to go to our website, nerdsandwordspodcast.com, you can find out all about us there. There's also a form on the bottom where you can put in any questions and things you want to answer. Siraj, all I'm going to say is I did see the one you put, you little punk bitch.
What? Wait, I've not put anything.
You submitted something through the form. I saw it.
haven't.
It's in the email inbox.
I haven't. Okay, show it to me after this.
Yeah, I will do. nerdsandwordspodcast.com. Subscribe to us on YouTube, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
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 Bye.